Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. I will begin by singing the Mangalacharna prayers and leading a short kirtan. And then I will speak about Prahlada Maharaja and Lord Nrsimhadeva. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidham Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Sita Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Sita Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Ho. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. My dear devotees, please move forward to make more space. Yes, don't be shy. So I will read two verses. To begin, I will read Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9. Prahlada pacifies the Lord with prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Please repeat. Evam Janam Nipatitam Prabhava Ahikupe Kama Abhikamam Anu Ya Prapatan Prasangat Kritva Atmasat Sura Rishina Bhagavan Grihita Sa Aham Katam Nu Visrijay Tava Britya Sevam Evam Janam Nipatitam Prabhavahi Kupe Kama Bikamam Anuya Prapatam Prasangat Gritvat Masat Surasina Bhagavan Grahita Soham Katam Nuvrisijay Tava Britya Sevam Evam Thus Janam, people in general. Nipatitam, fallen. Prabhava, of material existence. Ahikupe, in a blind well, full of snakes. Kama abhikamam, desiring the sense objects. Anu, following. Ya, the person who. Prapatan, falling down in this condition. Prasangat, because of bad association. Or increased association with material desires. Kritva Atmasat, causing me to acquire spiritual qualities, like himself, Sri Narada, Surarishina, by the great saintly person, Narada, Bhagavan, O my Lord, Grihita, accepted, Sa, that person, Aham, I, Katam, how, Nu, indeed, Vishvijay, can give up, Tava, your, Rityasevam, the service of your pure devotee. Translation. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires, one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? Please repeat. What is that? Where are the... Please repeat. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires, one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As will be seen in later verses, even though Prahlada Maharaj was directly offered all the benedictions he might have desired, he refused to accept such offerings from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On the contrary, he asked the Lord to engage him in the service of his servant Narada Muni. This is the symptom of a pure devotee. One should serve the spiritual master first. It is not that one should bypass the spiritual master and desire to serve the Supreme Lord. This is not the principle for a Vaishnava. Narottam Das Thakur says, Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Janame Janame Hai E Abhilas. One should not be anxious to offer direct service to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised that one become a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Shri Radha Kalachandji ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai. The Prabhupada. One should not be anxious to offer direct service to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised that one become a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Das Das Anudas. This is the process for approaching the Supreme Lord. The first service should be rendered to the spiritual master so that by his mercy one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead to render service. While teaching Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. One can achieve the seat of devotional service by the mercy of the Guru, the spiritual master, and then by the mercy of Krishna. This is the secret of success. First, one should try to please the spiritual master, and then one should attempt to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, which means, by the mercy of the spiritual master, one gets the mercy of the Supreme Lord. We sing that every day in the prayers and during Mangalarti. One should not attempt to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by concoction. One must first be prepared to serve the spiritual master. And one is qualified, he is automatically offered the platform of direct service to the Lord. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj proposed that he engage in the service of Narada Muni. He never proposed that he engage directly in the service of the Lord. This is the right conclusion. Therefore, he said, Soham katam nurishvijay tava britya sevam. How can I give up the service of my spiritual master, who has favored me in such a way that I am now able to see you face to face? Prahlada Maharaj prayed to the Lord that he might continue to engage in the service of his spiritual master, Narada Muni. Translation again. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires, one after the other, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? So Prahlada Maharaj is setting a perfect example for us in the mood of service to the spiritual master. Although he was seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, Nrsimhadeva, but he was remembering his spiritual master and gave the credit to his spiritual master for bringing him to the position where he could see the Supreme Lord face to face. So, we've all been blessed by Srila Prabhupada, directly or indirectly. And our first duty is to serve him. And we cannot, or we must not give up his service under any circumstances. And by serving him, we will get everything. Yeah, he's actually, most of us, I mean definitely myself, if it weren't for Srila Prabhupada, I never would have known about Lord Nrsimhadeva or Prahlada Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada worked tirelessly to give us these books, so many books, Sri Ishopanishad, Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we should honor the effort that he put into writing the books by reading them, and not just reading them in an academic way, but reading them to apply his teachings in our lives. My dear godbrother Burijan Das wrote a nice article called Prayerful Reading, that we should read in a prayerful mood to get instructions that are relevant to us, that we can apply in our lives. And the books are alive. Reading the books, we get the association of Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. The books are actually alive. So, and many devotees have had the experience that they had some question or some problem or some difficulty, and then they opened up Srila Prabhupada's books and they got the answer. So, we should use our time wisely. We should not waste time. And use our time wisely means to always chant the holy names or read Srila Prabhupada's books or engage in some sort of devotional service, practice of bhakti yoga. And then I'll read one more verse. This is also from Prahlada Maharaj. But this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18. The residents of Jambudweep offer prayers. So I'll read text 8. Well, I'll read the translation of text 7 just to give the context. Text 7 translation, Sukadeva Goswami continued. My dear king, Lord Nrsimhadeva resides in the tract of land known as Harivarsha. In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I shall describe to you how Prahlada Maharaj caused the Lord to assume the form of Nrsimhadeva. Prahlada Maharaj, the topmost devotee of the Lord, is a reservoir of all the good qualities of great personalities. His character and activities have delivered all the fallen members of his demoniac family. Lord Nrsimhadeva is very dear to this exalted personality. Thus Prahlada Maharaj, along with his servants and all the denizens of Harivarsha, Worship Lord Nrsimhadeva by chanting the following mantra. So text 8, translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activities in this material world. This is a prayer that we can all offer. It's very appropriate for all of us. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activities in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In Srimad Bhagavatam 4:22-39, Sanat Kumar speaks the following words to Maharaj Prithu. Yat pada pankaja pala savilasa bhaktya karma sayan grahitatam ugradanti santa tadvanarakta matayo yatayo pirudha shoto ganastamaranam bhajavasudevam. Devotees always engage, quote, translation, devotees always engage in the service of the toes of the Lord's lotus feet. Devotees always engaged in the service of the toes of the Lord's lotus feet can very easily become freed from hard-knotted desires for fruitive activities. This is very difficult. Because this is very difficult, the non-devotees, the jnanis and yogis, cannot stop the waves of sense gratification, although they try to do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. So Srila Prabhupada has given a beautiful purport to this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. The verse says that desires for fruitive activities are like waves of sense gratification. And Srila Prabhupada explains that the waves of a river flow into the ocean. And although the waves continue without cessation, sometimes when the ocean is at high tide, the waves of the ocean overwhelm the waves of the river in the opposite direction. And so Srila Prabhupada says that the devotee can overcome the waves of desire for fruitive activities by planning in so many ways how to engage in the service of the Lord and spread the Krishna consciousness movement. And then it's like the ocean at high tide. It overwhelms the waves of the river flowing down to the ocean, or in other words, the spiritual desires for devotional service overwhelm the material desires for sense gratification. Every living being within this material world has a strong desire to enjoy matter to its fullest satisfaction. For this purpose, the conditioned soul must accept one body after another, and thus his strongly fixed fruitive desires continue. One cannot stop the repetition of birth and death without being completely desireless. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami describes pure devotional service, bhakti, as follows. Anyabilasita sunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam anukulena krishna anusilanam bhaktirutama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. This is called pure devotional service. End quote. Unless one is completely freed of all material desires, which are caused by the dense darkness of ignorance, one cannot fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, we should always pray, offer our prayers to Lord Nrsimhadeva, who killed. Brilliant. Therefore, we should always offer our prayers to Lord Nrsimhadeva, who killed Hiranyakashipu. The personification of material desires. Hiranya means gold. Oh, you are brilliant. You're an assembly of learned sages. And Kashipu means a soft cushion or bed. Materialistic persons always desire to make the body comfortable, and for this they require huge amounts of gold. Thus, Hiranyakashipu was the perfect representative of materialistic life. He was therefore the cause of great disturbance to the topmost devotee, Prahlada Maharaj, until Lord Nrsimhadeva killed him. Any devotee aspiring to be free of material desires should offer his respectful prayers to Nrsimhadeva, as Prahlada Maharaj did in this verse. Now I'll read the translation again. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Kindly appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. And the next verse is really beautiful. It's a prayer and a blessing for all of us from Prahlada Maharaj, text 9. Swastyastu vishaya kala prasidatam Dayantu bhutani shivam mitodiya Manas chabadram bhajata dadhoksaje Aveshyatam no matir apyahaituki. Translation. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. Please repeat. May there be good fortune, throughout the universe. And may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The following verse describes the Vaishnav. Vanchakalpa trubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Just like a desire tree, a Vaishnav can fulfill all the desires of anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. Prahlada Maharaja is a typical Vaishnav. He prays not for himself, but for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. He always thought of the welfare of mischievous persons like his father, Hiranyakashipu. Prahlada Maharaj did not ask for anything for himself. Rather, he prayed for the Lord to excuse his demoniac father. This is the attitude of a Vaishnav who always thinks of the welfare of the entire universe. Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavat Dharma are meant for persons who are completely free from envy. Parama Nirmatsaranam. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays in this verse, Kala Prasidatam. May all the envious persons be pacified. The material world is full of envious persons, but if one frees himself of envy, he becomes liberal in his social dealings and can think of others' welfare. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses his mind of all envy. Manas chabajam bhajatad adhok sajay. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Nrsimhadeva to sit in our hearts. We should pray, Bahir Nrsimha, Hridaye Nrsimha. We sing this every day. Bahir Nrsimha means Nrsimha is outside, and Hridaye Nrsimha means that he's in my heart. We should pray, Bahir Nrsimha, Hridaye Nrsimha. Let Lord Nrsimhadeva sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become clean so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given us a very fine purport in this regard. Whenever one offers a prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one always requests some benediction from Him. Even pure, nishkam devotees pray for some benediction, as instructed by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshastaka. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavam buddho Kripaya tava pada pankajas titi duli sadrisham vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. In another prayer, Lord Chaitanya says, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahaituki Twai. Life after life, let me have unalloyed love and devotion at your Lordship's lotus feet. When Prahlada Maharaj chants Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya, he prays for a benediction from the Lord. But because he is also an exalted Vaishnava, he wants nothing for personal sense gratification. The first desire expressed in his prayer is Swasti Astu Vishvasya. Let there be good fortune throughout the entire universe. Prahlada Maharaj thus requested the Lord to be merciful to everyone, including his father, a most envious person. According to Chanakya Pandit, there are two kinds of envious living entities. One is a snake, and the other is a man like Hiranyakasipu, who is by nature envious of everyone, even of his father or son. Hiranyakashipu was envious of his little son Prahlada. But Prahlada Maharaj asked a benediction for the benefit of his father. Hiranyakashipu was very envious of devotees, but Prahlada wished that his father and other demons like him would give up their envious natures by the grace of the Lord and stop harassing the devotees. Kala prasidatam. The difficulty is that the kala, envious living entity, is rarely pacified. One kind of kala, the snake, can be pacified simply by mantras or by the action of a particular herb. Mantra shadi vasha sarpa kalarkena nivaryate. An envious person, however, cannot be pacified by any means. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays that all envious persons may undergo a change of heart and think of the welfare of others. So Srila Prabhupada quoted this in Juhu in relation to the opposition we were facing, or he was facing, in trying to first get the land and get the permission to build the temple, and then build the temple for Sri Sri Radharasa Bihari. And he said that we were surrounded by envious people. If the Krishna consciousness movement spreads all over the world, and if by the grace of Krishna everyone accepts it, the thinking of envious people will change. Everyone will think of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays, Shivam mito diya. In material activities, everyone is envious of others. But in Krishna consciousness, no one is envious of anyone else. Everyone thinks of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays that everyone's mind may become gentle by being fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. Bhajatad adhoksaje. As indicated elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. That refers to Maharaja Ambarish. His mind was always engaged in the lotus feet of Krishna. And as advised by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 1865, Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto. one should constantly think of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then one's mind will certainly be cleansed. Cheto darpano marjanam. Materialists always think of sense gratification, but Prahlada Maharaj prays that the Lord's mercy will change their minds and they will stop thinking of sense gratification. If they think of Krishna always, everything will be all right. Some people argue that if everyone thought of Krishna in this way, the whole universe would be vacated because everyone would go back home, back to Godhead. However, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this is impossible because the living entities are innumerable. If one set of living entities is actually delivered by the Krishna consciousness movement, another set will fill the entire universe. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Prahlada Maharaj ki jai, Lord Nrsimhadeva ki jai. So, my dear devotees, thank you for listening so patiently and attentively. Now, if any of you have any questions or comments, any reflections you would like to share, you can raise your hand. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you Maharaj for every time making us Srila Prabhupada conscious along with Krishna conscious. So thank you so much Maharaj. You were saying that we serve, all of us serve Srila Prabhupada, but we, the second generation, next generation, we also have our spiritual master. So how do we serve both Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master at the same time?
Well, your spiritual master is a servant of Srila Prabhupada. Mm-hmm. So by serving your spiritual master, you're serving the servant of Srila Prabhupada, which means you're serving Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Maharaj.
No contradiction whatsoever.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the lovely class. We were talking about how we can connect with Srila Prabhupada through Krishna. And it reminded me of a story that I heard, and I felt inspired to share it. I wanted to ask if it's okay regarding Srila Prabhupada's books.
Yes.
So I heard this story by a devotee who I was traveling with, and he had a dream, and he was chanting in front of Srila Prabhupada's murti, and Srila Prabhupada all of a sudden turned to him, and he started crying. And he looked at him in such desperation and said, "Please bring somebody for me to preach to." And so all of a sudden the setting changed, and they were in the Los Angeles airport. And so he's walking with Srila Prabhupada, trying to approach these people, saying, "Please come speak to this man. He's so enlightened and can give you so much knowledge." And so many people went by, and eventually someone took a Science of Self-Realization book and sat down and started reading it. So then he tried to convince him, "This is the author of the book. You should please speak to him." And so the man looked back at the devotee and kind of like nudged him off. Didn't acknowledge that Srila Prabhupada was there or anything, and he kept looking in the books. And this happened a couple of times. And then finally the person who was reading the book turned at this devotee like, "Don't you understand? Don't you know what you're doing?" And so the devotee turns around and Srila Prabhupada was gone. And the realization he shared with me was that Prabhupada is lively present within his books. So through our distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books, he's directly connecting with and preaching to the person who's receiving it. And I just thought of that for myself also. I think sometimes I don't have that realization that I'm actually connecting with Srila Prabhupada through his books. So I thought I'd share that story. I felt that very inspiring.
Wonderful, beautiful. On the point of everyone becoming Krishna conscious, I was with Srila Prabhupada at the Kumbh Mela in Allahabad, and one man asked him, like what would happen if everyone becomes Krishna conscious? Then, Srila Prabhupada said it's like asking, what happens if everyone becomes rich? Who will be the chauffeur? Is anyone not going to try to become rich? Because if everyone became rich, who would be the driver? And then Srila Prabhupada said, the problem is not that too many people will become Krishna conscious. The problem is that not enough people will become Krishna conscious. So, yeah. Yes?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I'm kind of nervous to ask this question. So we were hearing that through association with our material desires, we fall. And okay, I'm trying to formulate it fully. It wasn't fully maybe formulated, but I was just thinking of, like, for example, Grihastha ashram. We have this material desire to have a family and settle down and have a home and have these things, but devotees are encouraged to go into Grihastha ashram, even though we're associating with our material desires in that way. How do we, how do we draw the line between that, or understand that we have some license to associate with our material desires in a particular way, but not let it get to be too much, and how does that get purified?
Well, we follow the Varnashram system, and one of the ashrams is Grihastha ashram. The word ashram is related to the word ashraya, which means shelter. And so in Grihastha ashram, one can also get shelter of Krishna. And the Grihastha ashram should be executed in such a way that Krishna is the center. And it's not necessarily material. I mean, the whole ashram can be spiritualized by keeping Krishna in the center. And the husband and wife cooperate to help each other in Krishna consciousness. And if they have children, it's their duty. The 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam says, no one should become a mother, no one should become a father, no one should become a husband, no one should become a guru, unless they can deliver their dependents from the repetition of birth and death. So if you have a child, it's your duty to make sure that they don't have to take birth again. So it's a spiritual ashram.
I was just thinking it comes with so many material, like you have to have a job, or likely, people go into it with these material desires. It's not usually people, at least in my experience, people don't usually go into Grihastha ashram because they're already they go into it with material desires, so they have to have a job, and then they end up going to see movies with their kids and going out to eat sometimes, and it just can become like you're feeding the material desires. Like, how do we balance that? I don't know. I've heard a lot of like the opposite end of things. Like, I've heard some sannyasis talk about how staying in sannyas ashram or staying in the renunciate life is better, and I can see how both. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says both also. So I'm just trying to find the balance between the two.
Well, we should avoid sense gratification. I mean, if they want to eat in a restaurant, what about Kalachanji's? Can't find a better restaurant than that. And movies, we have Krishna conscious movies. We should try to dovetail everything in Krishna consciousness. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, I had a question about Nrsimhadev. So, when we sing Nrsimhadev prayers, are we singing the prayers to a specific form of Nrsimhadev out of the 9, or are we just singing it to just one Nrsimhadev? And do the 9 Nrsimhadev names have any extra kind of potencies or powers or anything?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I missed something.
So when we sing Nrsimhadev prayers,
Yeah.
are we singing the prayers to just one form of Nrsimhadev, or the 9 names to the 9 names of Nrsimhadev?
Are we singing the prayers to just one form of Nrsimhadev?
Yeah.
Well, we're singing them to Nrsimhadev, half man and half lion. I don't know if I've quite caught what your question is.
So there's 9 forms of Nrsimhadev. Like you have like Ahobilam and Yoga Nrsimha, and so when we sing the prayers in the temples, are we singing to a specific form of Nrsimhadev? And do the others have any special kind of potencies?
I mean, we're singing to Nrsimhadev. If you have a particular form of Nrsimhadev in your mind, or a particular deity of Nrsimhadev in your mind, you can sing it to that. Yeah, I usually sing to this picture. And I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. Maharaj, my question or my query is regarding the first verse you read. We were saying we should never try to offer services directly to the Lord. At that moment itself, the curtain opened, and out of habit, like I went down, paid obeisances, and missed whatever you said in next 30 seconds. So about a minute I was thinking, did I just violated what you just read to us? When the action, was it appropriate? Should I have acted something differently? Or basically that's my question.
Okay. You saw the Lord because the curtains opened. And how did the curtains get opened? A devotee opened them. So you depend on the mercy of devotees.
No, but Maharaj, I missed that for a few seconds, like 30 seconds or whatever you were saying, so like totally blanked out. So that was where my question came from, saying, did I violate that part or should I have done something different?
Sorry?
So while we were paying obeisances, I was not listening to you.
Oh,
So that was my question. Did I violated what I just heard? Or did I violate it? Because, I went directly to the Lord while I could have alternatively been listening to you.
well, you made a mistake.
Apologies, Maharaj.
Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Prahlada Maharaj ki jai, Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai, Gaur Premanandi. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha
Kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai. His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.